Hinarap noon ni Mexican boxing legend ang 23 anyos na tubang Dumaguete City, Negros Occidental, ang tinaguriang executioner na si Jimrex Jaca sa isang laban na naging malaking pagkakataon para ipakita ng ating kababayan sa pandaigdigang entablado ang kanyang husay at tapang sa ibabaw ng lona at patunayan na siya ay karapat-dapat na maging world title contender. Dito, ididepensa ni Juan Manuel Marquez ang kanyang WBO Interim World Featherweight title. Dito nagsisimula na uminit ang kilalang classic rivalry ng mundo ng boxing. Yan ang Philippines versus Mexico. Kaya ngayong araw, muli nating balikan ang isa sa hindi malilimutang laban ng Pilipinas kontra sa Mexico na ginanap noon sa Hidalgo, Texas, USA. Sa simula ng laban, halatang ganado at puno ng kumpiyansa si Jimrex Jaca. Bit-bit niya ang lakas at bilis na ipangtatapat kay Márquez. Hindi siya natatakot sa reputasyon ni Márquez na isa sa pinakamagaling na counter-puncher sa kasaysayan ng boxing. Ipinakita ni Jaca ang kanyang aggression, pinipilit niyang pasukin ang depensa ng veteranong Mexican at makapuntos gamit ang kanyang matinding kaliwat kanan. Pinaramdam agad ni Jimrex Jaca na hindi siya natatakot sa isang Juan Manuel Marquez.
Márquez in the traditional Mexican colors. Jaca in the red and blue. He is a southpaw. Márquez says no worries. 4 of the last 6 fighters who he's faced have been southpaws. Now he's just a little nervous. He's got to go up against a conventional fighter, and there you see Márquez land a straight right.
Márquez is fighting a lot more aggressive than he normally and punching with a lot more authority. He seems to be very determined to be impressive tonight for power tonight, I think, more so than technical.
Márquez got burned 2 fights ago. He lost a decision that undefeated. Dear friend, he even acknowledges he's looking for the KO tonight. I never heard him say something like that.
Yeah, and he's got caught with a beautiful straight left right there by Jaca.
Jaca doing work to the body, but Márquez spins him around and now goes to town in the corner.
This could turn out to be a much more exciting fight than we all expected.
It was a left hook from Márquez and Jaca trading blows, and we're just 2 minutes into the first round.
You know, I thought that Jaca was going to be more of a boxer. Look at that kiss. It means we have a good, exciting fight on our hands.
Márquez doubles up with the left hand. He's fighting a fast southpaw from the Philippines, but this one doesn't hit like a ton of bricks as Pacquiao does. In the opening round of a scheduled 12-rounder between Juan Manuel Marquez and Jimrex Jaca.
Jimrex is trying to land almost the same identical straight left through the center that Pacquiao was so effective with when he fought Márquez.
When we go to the corner of Jaca, and they speak Tagalog, Ernie Kalugo.
Sa round number 2, patuloy ang pagiging agresibo ni Jaca. Sumusugod siya sa bibitaw ng kombinasyon.
Thought that replay was a great illustration of technically how good Márquez is. On offense, you saw it there, straight right hand, excellent uppercut, left hook. There you see how Harold Letterman scored the first round, and he gave it to the youngster from the Philippines, Jaca. This fight was supposed to take place just over a month ago. Jaca had some visa problems.
Ngunit sa round na ito, nakabitaw si Jimrex Jaca ng isang solidong kaliwa na tumama kay Márquez. Sandali siyang nayanig at napaatras. Muntik na siyang bumagsak. Doon nagingay ang crowd dahil parang may tsansa ang batang Pinoy na makagawa ng upset.
But I think that it was Márquez who did some of the hurting in that round. Although Murphy got rocked. Seems to be steady on his feet now.
Márquez is a wee tad slower than he normally is, I think, because he's trying to fight for power tonight. Normally he's a lot faster, a lot more elusive with his upper body movement. And the way he's fighting right now, this is anybody's fight, because he himself got caught with a right hook, even though he might have been off balance. It could have been a facial knockdown still.
He just landed a straight right.
Nope, and also the Jaca just landed a left little uppercut inside.
Here we go, man. You know, going into this fight, it doesn't seem like this is the kind of fighter that would prepare you for Manny Pacquiao. And yet, Manny, it looks to me like
Jaca's fighting similarly to Pacquiao in many respects.
A little slower version, not as intense, not as fierce, but still definitely a version of Pacquiao.
And main thing is not the punching power.
There is a cut over the left eye, I believe, of Jimrex Jaca. Marquez on. There you see what Marquez does so well. He leaned back and he counterpunched with his left.
But Jaca's counterpunching him also sometimes when he comes in. By simply moving back, which is interesting because I thought he would be moving around a lot more, but Jaca's just taking a little step back sometimes.
Last tells. Let's see if it tells in this fight. If Marquez can make adjustments and start to pull away.
Marquez trying to end round 2 with a flurry.
Sa round number 3, nagiging mas malinaw ang laban. Si Jimrex Jaca ay umaasa sa bilis at lakas, pero si Márquez ay nagbabasa ng bawat galaw ng Pilipino. Pero matibay ang panga ni Jimrex Jaca, kaya tuloy pa rin ang sagupaan.
Instead of throwing punches and just staying there, he punches it in, he pulls back just enough, like he does right there.
Nice wide left hook shook Jaca.
Manny, I've heard you the first few rounds and then he executed. And Marquez throughout his career has reminded me of that. It's still early in the fight. Generally, he starts to dominate as the rounds go on.
I don't know if he's going to be that effective. This guy seems to nation.
Marquez, I think it did a little something.
I think ditto on that one.
Yeah.
It was blocked, but there was some pepper coming off that from Marquez.
A little bit more in this round than he was earlier.
Yeah, the one thing we know that once Jaca slows down at all, Márquez is going to step it up, take it to another level.
See Marquez applying a little more pressure here.
It's not only that, but Jaca was always keeping that little, I think, because he's tiring a little bit.
Showed you a little bit of the speed that he says.
I agree, he looks slow. He looks seasoned, very professional, but still slow.
At least compared to this guy.
To settle into the fight now, Jaca unloads an uppercut. Jaca's punch output slows down just a little bit. Marquez trying to...
Sa round number 4, dito nagsisimulang mag-init si Márquez. Subalit, nakakabitaw pa rin ng malalakas na counter si Jimrex Jaca na nagpapaalala kay Juan Manuel Marquez na hindi dapat makampante.
Bringing Harold Letterman to see how he has to the fight.
Okay, Fred. 2 rounds to 1, 29-28, Jimrex Jaca. That first round was very, very close. Could have gone either way. I was really surprised at the style of Jimrex Jaca. I mean, this is 2 guys standing there fighting. I'm just stacking him. I thought he won that. But round 3, 1 now.
It's not uncommon for Marquez to start slowly. It is uncommon with this kind of passion. He seems to be not only fighting aggressively, but like he really is trying to take this guy's head off.
Both fighters in previous fights, he maybe then would have gotten the fights that he wanted to have.
Or that's the tightrope that Barrera has walked in.
Nice overhand right from Juan Manuel Marquez. Jaca now trying to lead with the...
Jaca doesn't have the punching power Márquez, but he's fighting a very good fight and thus far in the round.
Normally against southpaws, Manny, guys are on guard for that straight left hand and don't see the right hook. Marquez seems to be caught with that straight left hand.
A lot more speed and power than Jaca.
Still, he is fighting a southpaw with a good straight left hand, and that's put him in kind of the, he's active against a guy like that. Might that not be an advantage against Pacquiao in a rematch?
But what I'm concerned about, Márquez seemed to have lost just a little step in his speed, and you can't do that with a guy like Pacquiao.
Sa round number 5, patuloy ang labasan ng estilo, agresyon mula kay Jimrex Jaca kontra sa diskarte ni Juan Manuel Marquez.
Under control. over Jaca's left eye. In the 5th round of a scheduled 12-rounder here at Dodge Arena in Hidalgo, Texas, Fred Charles alongside Emmanuel Stewart and Max Kellerman. And this was supposed to be a rebirth here for Juan Manuel Marquez. Got his hands full.
What, should he come out with a win here? I think this is more in his interest than a
Version of Pacquiao right here in front of him.
This is why some fighters don't watch tape, and Jaca says he doesn't watch tape of his opponent.
Yes, Jaca, he wanted to make sure everything was all good. Marquez wouldn't touch gloves. And now there's a cut.
Time! Neutral corner, right there. Right there.
It's a gash.
And it's bleeding. It's kind of spouting blood.
I think it came from
Referee Lawrence Cole says it came from an act.
bad cut. When you see two heads bump together, that's what happens when two skulls crash. The flesh in between gets busted. Very bad cut.
I'll tell you what, if Harold's scorecard's right, that puts Marquez in some trouble.
And Marquez, you can tell, sensing he doesn't want the fight to be in danger because of the cut. Going to work here in the 5th round. This is the 5th fight that we know of with Jaca where headbutts have been an issue.
We have not seen Marquez in his career, except for the Pacquiao fight, vulnerable. And it's that kind of invulnerability that has made him perhaps less marketable than, say, Barrera, who seemed more human through the years.
Blood now.
Come back from a bad cut over his eye, down perhaps on points.
Now see what happened.
To beat a guy, that will go a long way towards making him a more popular fighter.
Márquez shot a big volley trying to get even after getting cut, and now that he's trying to take a little break, Jaca's trying to take control again.
Sa round 6, parang chess match ang round na ito. Bawat atake ni Jaca isinusukat at sinasalubong dahil ramdam niya ang precision punching ng Mexican legend.
Nice right hand from Juan Manuel Marquez.
Sometimes when fighters are, you find out if they're great. And Marquez, though he has some wins against guys, signature win against a top guy. He drew with Pacquiao. He lost to Freddie Norwood, controversially.
Rocks Jaca there with 2 rights.
Should he win portfolio, and I think raises his profile among the top fighters in this weight class. And he does seem to be fighting harder since the cut.
And he's, to me, landed more punches in the fight, clean punches, than Jaca. But Jaca still seems to be so relaxed and seems to be very comfortable with the situation. Seems to be unawed about this pro-Mexican crowd, when particularly they're excited about after what happened with Pacquiao in the Mexican last week.
And he's showing some maturity, man.
A lot of maturity.
Really is. He's getting pockets.
Manny, it was only a couple weeks ago where your fighter, Vladimir Klitschko,
that's what good fighters do. When you good right hand.
Márquez landing flush upstairs on Jimrex Jaca.
Very determined fighter. Now, I like what Márquez is doing, getting close and shooting a right hand lead off the back now instead of the 1-2. And he's been more effective. There it is again. By shooting the right hand without shooting the left, he's been more effective, and Jaca can't time it.
The blood streaming down the right side of Marquez's face. You see him wiping it off. In between, firing big shots. Fellas, say not what we expected.
Sa round number 7, si Jaca ay lumalaban pa rin. Dito, may kukumpara ang Pilipino na para bang isang batang leon.
Right hand that he's winning these rounds. But I want to say something. You were right about we go to the scorecards after the 4th round. The case. I say this: if the fight is stopped in the middle of the round, you score the partial round. How to score that partial round? 4-2, Márquez.
Márquez catches Jaca with a left uppercut.
The chin. That's the only reason he hasn't been knocked out, because Márquez is caught him with good punches, and Márquez punches good with both hands. Even though he punches good with the left hook, he has a good right hand.
Not only is this the kind of fight that will endear Marquez to the fans, but maybe it will make other top fighters think that he's more vulnerable than he used to be, and therefore make it easier to make some of those top fights.
Well, that is truly the case, I believe. I think he gets hit a little bit more than he used to, but he's fighting.
Nice uppercut by Marquez, and then he does a nice job of stepping back to get some separation, and he comes back with a left.
I mean, for Marquez, he just landed a right. So, I mean, how do you do something like that?
And no punch has wobbled this boy Jaca yet still. He's been hit with some tremendous shots, but none of the punches have caused him to get in any trouble.
Juan Manuel Marquez, as I mentioned, he lost 2 fights. In his last fight against Turtsak Chandang, we saw this type of effort from Marquez.
He's fighting a very good, exciting, power-punching fight tonight, and very determined.
The fight was stopped in the 7th with Marquez winning.
Marquez, the Norwood fight, most people thought he won. He lost the decision. The Chris John fight also, most people thought he won.
Pagpasok ng round number 8, nagiging mabigat na para kay Jimrex Jaca ang laban. Sa puntong ito, halatang mas lamang na si Juan Manuel Marquez.
Jaca's getting the biggest payday of his career, as you mentioned, Max, $50,000. He says he plans on going back to the Philippines. He wants to build a house. He has a wife.
You can build a couple in the Philippines with fighting a spirited, inspired kind of fight.
He says he has no other hobbies. Boxing is it.
Should be said also as we watch Marquez and you think about Pacquiao. People are talking about Barrera in a rematch with Pacquiao in a fight I actually thought he won. Many people did. He didn't lose to Pacquiao. He drew.
It was 2.5 years ago, though.
Yeah, but since then, you know.
The second bite. You okay? Okay. The second bite. Okay. The second bite. What is it? Time in. Box.
All right, Lawrence Cole letting us know it's a second accidental headbutt. And you can see once again, Marquez wants to take matters into his own hands. Jaca standing right there with him, going toe-to-toe.
But Jaca came right to him and
He sure did.
admitted punch for punch.
What an exchange! What a great exchange!
You know, Jaca's going right to him. He's not taking it easy. Both guys are meeting each other head on.
Blood streaming down his face, Fran, down Marquez's face in a furious exchange with a determined contender.
If they go to a scorecard, based on what I'm seeing, Marquez still could win the fight, possibly.
He's not trying to win on the scorecard.
No, they're going for the knockout, both guys.
Marquez sensing the danger with the cuts. Blood now covering the right side of his face.
Time right there. Come here. Come on. Come on, Wally. You have like how many guys? You're ahead on the scorecard. Okay? When you see how many kills I got. Y'all wanna? Alright. Hang on. Time in!
It's a little odd there. Lawrence Cole telling Marquez he was ahead on the scorecard.
Definitely on it. I'm very seldom. I don't recall ever hearing that.
He's basically telling him, it sounds as though he's implying, if you decide you don't want to fight on because of the cut, you're going to win. And Marquez, to his credit, wants to fight on. That's no small thing, folks. His face is ripped open, and he wants to fight on.
How could Lawrence Cole have any idea what the scorecard said?
I don't know how he could know it. If he did know, it's very unusual. It seemed like out of order for him to tell one of the boxers that is. But
they're talking about open scoring in fights, guys, and that's the kind of stuff that would happen in an open scoring system.
Pagpasok ng round number 9, agad umarangkada si Márquez at kombinasyon ng tumatama kay Jaca.
When
Makikita ang tapang ng Pinoy dahil ayaw pa rin sumuko at patuloy pang lumalaban.
By the way, I said fighters would quit in an open scoring system. There are pros and cons to open scoring. That is a potential con, that fighters with less heart than Marquez would quit knowing they were ahead in the fight.
And a lot of fighters, once they realize that they are comfortable hit on points, they would just actually run the rest of the fight, even if there's no cut involved, just on points, which is what you see a lot in international amateur boxing, which makes it so boring now. Once a guy find out he's 7-2 ahead, he says, oh, I got 3 more rounds to go, I'll just run.
To Marquez's credit, he's not looking just to win, but to win in a way that will kind of tip the scale away from Barrera and towards him in terms of public demand for a Pacquiao fight.
And he's got 4 more rounds to go altogether. Just the fight is still just a third of the way to get still left to go. That's a long time when you're bleeding like that.
And the guys, a point that was just brought to my attention from the truck, Marquez may not have even known what Lawrence Cole was saying. He may not have understood him.
Good point.
See Jaca wanting to take advantage of the situation. Marquez's corner doing a nice job on that cut, because it is hardly as much of an issue, the blood that is, as it was in round 8.
Really nice job, you're right.
Nacho Bernstein happens to be his trainer, cut man, and manager.
Doing it all, huh?
And has been his manager since he was a kid. I guess when he was about 8 or 9 years old. He's been always the boxing guy in his life, for he and his brother Raw. Rafael.
Jaca now trying to do some work against the ropes, and he comes back with a strong.
Pero nang tumama ang solidong suntok na kanan ni Márquez at nagpaulan ng maraming kombinasyon.
Big left hook by Marquez. He doubled up and it floors Jaca. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Surprise!
Kahit natalo si Jimrex Jaca, tumatak sa mga fans ang puso at tapang ng Pilipino. At para kay Jimrex Jaca, malaking bagay na nakasabay siya at nakakuha ng early rounds sa labang ito kontra sa isang alamat ng boxing ng Mexico. At sa labang ito, isang malaking exposure para kay Jimrex Jaca na masilayang lumaban sa bansang Amerika. At hindi basta-bastang laban ang makaharap si Juan Manuel Marquez, nakasalukuyang Hall of Famer at isa sa pinakamahusay na Mexican fighter sa kasaysayan. Kahit natalo, nagbigay ito ng reputasyon dahil pinakita ni Jimrex Jaca ang kanyang pusong palaban. Kahit dehado, ay hindi siya umatras at lumaban hanggang sa kaduluduluhan. Nakatatak na sa mga manonood na hindi basta sumusuko ang isang Filipino fighter. At dito, mas nakilala ang Mexico versus Philippines boxing rivalry. Isang kabanata na nagpapatibay sa respetong ibinibigay ng Mexico sa mga Pinoy boxers na laging matitibay, matatapang at handang sumabay kahit kanino.
Comes to an end with an official time.